And welcome everybody to the main event of the evening. We have Monk versus Angry Korea Man, a human mirror of the century. Before any further ado, let's go on into the tail of the tape. Not too detailed here, as Monk shadow playing in 1v1, not really revealing his hand just yet. Tends to play a lot of 2v2. But will he have what it takes to go up against his arch nemesis, the Blood Mage, Blood Law Master of the Lands, Angry Korea Man? Without further ado, let's jump right into the action. Game 1 going to be on Terranistan. We have Angry Korea Man in the bottom right, and to no surprise, Blood Law incoming. We know Monk has been practicing all week long, going for the standard MK first in Terranistan. A lot of humans like to go Mountain King first and get that nice, quick, and easy, relatively stress-free level 3 right away. That level 2 Stormbolt going to be really great to hold off the Blood Law. Sending out the Scout Footman. Monk, our human champion. Also, as you may know, one of the lead developers on the new RTS coming out in the next year or so, Stormgate. Very much looking forward to that, and we will see how he fares in this human mirror matchup today on Terranistan. Blood Law just about to be out and ready. We'll see how Angry Korea Man handles his first couple creep camps, sending out the militia as well. Monk on the way, baiting the Frost Armor onto the Rogue, and handle the Renegade Wizard immediately. Clean it up. 5 militia is the choice for Monk. Meanwhile, 5 militia, 6 militia, or 5 over here, going to send a Scout Footy to interrupt some of that creeping. Nice Flame Strike. Mantle of Intelligence going to be the first item. Meanwhile, Slippers of Agility and a Wand of Mana Stealing. We'll see what second item Angry Korea Man gets. Fortunately, this Frost Armor making it a bit more difficult to creep up this first camp here. Going to get the Potion of Vulnerability. That's going to be quite nice against Stormbolt. No farm being built, but Monk going to have that Scout farm with quick access to the Merc camp. Both players likely going to go for the Gold Mine and Fast Expo. Great map to Expo on. Monk bringing over 6 with an additional footy. Continuing to train peasants behind all of this. 4th farm coming up near the Merc camp. Angry Korea Man a little behind. Has the Shadow Priest. As does Monk behind all this. Took, unfortunately, a little bit of damage, but was able to salvage it. And Korea, instead of going for the mine, going to go for the shop. Love to see a little change up here. Still should be giving him level 3. And Korea opting to go for the Fast Tech rather than the Fast Expo. We'll see how that pays off for him in the mid-game. And it doesn't give level 3. I thought it would. Monk collected his level 3 quite easily. Gonna TP over and maybe do a little disruption of his own. Will he be tricked? He is gonna be tricked by the illusion. Monk knows right away. Backed off. But still is gonna have 2 Stormbolts in the bag. But with a couple more of those drain manas, will be problematic. Gonna put a shop in the back in safety. Gonna be hard to break that. A lot of farms in between. It's gonna be quite difficult to get back to that shop and get to this Arcane Tower. Very nicely placed. Shadow Priest. Worth its weight in gold right now. Healing up. And Korea Man gonna venture across the northern bridge. Monk not far behind on the tail of Korea. And Korea going for, hopefully, going to get some claws, some nice items from these 2 Rogue Wizards. Monk does not want to have any more Mana Siphon. Unfortunately, a ring would be not so bad for the MK, but it's going to have to go on the Blood Mage for now. Has another Stormbolt ready to go. Angry Korea Man, so good at this style. Question is Monk prepared? Has he done enough training? It's hard to find good training partners who can simulate this play style of Angry Korea Man. And Monk, smartly with the staff, able to easily get back to town and defend. Has Bash as well, hopeful to get a couple stuns on the Blood Mage. Pops the invulnerability potion. Monk has secured himself a lane out potentially, but going to use the staff anyway just for security. In fact, use the scroll. And a lot of footies here. We got 6 footies, 37 food to 31 food from Korea. And it looks like the strategy of Monk's going to be chase down that Blood Mage, keep him out of the battle. But as we all know, that mana is going to be drained perpetually throughout this game. Enough mana. Is he going to get a bash? And he is! Does no bash required. Bloodlove. First fall of the series. And that's a big kill for Monk. Going to get himself some breathing room. And Angry Korea quits the game. Going to game 2. And Monk was prepared. In case anyone had any doubts, he's been training, he's been practicing. And it seemed like he came into that game losing no strides, hitting the ground running. No problems at all. Well played, both players. Training is cheating. Yeah, that's right. All right, just looking for our next game name. Same, perfect. And our second map going to be played on Echo Isles. And back on over to the tail of the tape for Game 2. As you saw in Game 1, Monk well prepared to take on an entire country, an entire nation of Korea. And represented the human race well. Meanwhile, Korea himself hoping to get redemption in Game 2 on Echo Isles. Should prove to be quite a different matchup. Not quite sure if we'll see MK again. But we'll see soon enough. Monk 1-0 in the series in our Human Mirror matchup of the week. Both standard build orders thus far. Monk on the right in the blue trunks. Angry Korea, not off to the strongest start we've seen him. Monk, the backbone of several fantasy teams in the chat. We got a lot of players in the chat hoping for some big fantasy points to cap week 1 off. And let's see what heroes we have. I think we all know who's coming. Here, we have Bloodlaw yet again. Will we see Archmage or perhaps an MK again? So this game should prove to be quite different. MK, really well done. Crowd controlling the Blood Mage, keeping him at bay, getting him stunned, CC'd, just enough to secure a kill and the victory on Terranistan. Echo Isles, another map where we may see some fast expo. Although, I would imagine a lot of our human players are going to be going for that Merc Camp. Getting control of the mercenaries, really helpful for any mid-game pushes, mid-game holds, as well as the early game. Korea with the early scout tower. Ready for some defense. Arcane coming up. Monk, pretty standard build order as well. Scout farm out to the west. Cairo versus Ostra. I was actually practicing with him earlier. He played some undead for me. But wasn't enough. Guru got the best of me. Got the best of me. But we'll be back next week stronger. Monk coming in to disrupt a little bit. Fortunately, that footy took quite a bit of damage here. Flame Strike going to go out on the Merc Camp. And as expected, both human opponents going for the Merc Camp first. Looking like 6 militia is the call for Monk. On the eastern side of the map, does get the Troll Shadow Priest, taking much less damage than on Terranistan. Meanwhile, over to the west. Only 2 militia left, sending the rest home. I think he opted for 5 militia. So seeing some differences there. Periept up for grabs. Going to have a little extra health in the pool. Meanwhile, Talisman of Evasion, not necessarily what you're looking for from that camp, but helps here. A little miss from the Null Brute. Not a bad time there. Footy, injured, running away, likely going to run home all the way home, get healed up. Perhaps going to see Militia called for the bottom mine next. Monk on the way. Does not mind fast expoing, even in here, Human Mirror. Although this is one of the maps to do it on. Nice, easy Gold Mine Expo here on Echo Isles. Meanwhile, Korea opting again, not for the fast expo. Gonna go for a faster tech, pulling in 3 militia to help with the Ogre camp. And this is what we like to see. Not both players doing the same exact thing. Human Mirror gets a little bit spicier when we get to Tier 3, and it's looking like Korea might take us there. So Monk easily cleaning this up, getting his level 3. Very smooth, very clean. And unfortunately, Korea not getting that level 3 again. So not the fastest level 3 route. Huddling with the boys, figuring out where he wants to go next, and he is going to head east, potentially for some disruption. Monk with a nice scout footy, knows there's no expo, no threat at the moment. We'll see what he picks up. Going to sell the Talisman. Buys the boots, and that's going to be quite helpful. Not only to chase units down, but also to outrun the Siphon Mana. Angry Korea Man going to get level 3 from the Murloc camp. No problem here. A lot of his units going to be poisoned, unfortunately. Gets the nice Claws +5. That's going to help quite a bit in the early game. Meanwhile, Monk wandering a little bit, trying to figure out what's next. Going to take out that poor boar. Did nothing wrong. And this could be much easier to creep now. Has the level 3 Water Elemental. Sorry, level 2 Water Elemental. Wand of Illusion, going to be nice and helpful for scouting. And Angry Korea Man back at home wants to get something from the shop before he proceeds. And this is where Angry Korea Man starts to become deadly into this early mid-game. He starts harassing your back line, potions of invisibility. And we'll see what he ends up doing in the next couple minutes here as Monk wanders back west looking for the expo yet again. Won't find it. And now Monk has to be thinking, was the expo worth it? Definitely Korea is on Tier 2 or close. And Monk just starting Tier 2 for himself. Arcane Tower coming up, placed rather aggressively and offensively in the front. So will be easy to take down, but also going to keep Korea at bay a little further back, keeping the workers a little safer. We'll see how that plays out. Flame Strike proving to be very useful, roasting up these trolls, some troll meat for lunch today, and Monk has arrived. Gonna try to pick off this troll. Shadow Priest will secure the kill. A Flame Strike right into the heart of Monk's army. 1 footy going to pay the price. Not much army composition left for Monk. Does have the Troll Berserker, but defend online for Angry Korea Man going to be really effective. Another Flame Strike trying to roast down this Shadow Priest, chasing it back. 1 auto attack away from death, and looks like Monk might just get away, keeping both mercs intact. Very important. Want to make sure you don't feed that XP. Invested quite a bit of gold into those mercenaries, and will be able to take them home with him. Arcane Vault and Scout Tower coming up. And keeping the scout footy at the expo, I really like this. Something a lot of players don't do enough, including me. Scouting effectively, and Monk having no problems doing that. Here we go. First engagement. Serious engagement of the game. Priest falls, but another one behind it, and this one's going to hurt a little bit. A Flame Strike right on top of the Peasants. Peasant soup for Angry Korea Man. Level 4 Blood Mage. This is where things are going to start to hurt a lot. Here we go. Defend online. Trying to take down this Arcane Tower. 1 more footy falls. Monk trying to hold. Has a lot of injured peasants in the back. Moving the back to chop down some wood. And now stealing the mana from the Troll Shadow Priest. Another Flame Strike right into the back. Meanwhile, Korea trying to chop down the Archmage. Archmage down to about 60% health. Pulling the boys. The boys are here, and the mercenaries also. Korea's had enough. It's about time for him to retreat before the losses become too severe. Even collected this footy off to the west here, and now Monk held it off quite nicely. Has his mercs intact. I believe only lost 1 of the Shadow Priests, and has a little slow with the Mud Golem, just in case he needs it. Gonna head back west. Make sure the Expo's not up. It won't be up. And Korea going right to Tier 3, 60% away there. Monk also immediately going Tier 3, wasting no time. Knows he needs to keep up with the tech of Angry Korea Man, especially with no Expo. This could really favor Monk the later this game goes. Angry Korea Man going to need to hit a quite nice timing to justify not getting that Expo. But if there's someone that can do it, it is Angry Korea Man. Picked up the item just in time. I believe it was a Gloves of Haste. We'll take down this last Troll Trapper, and this is where Angry Korea Man's going to start getting levels quite quickly on that Tier 3. Going to have that boost to experience for the Blood Mage. Blood Mage right here. This is where we're getting into carry territory. No second hero yet for Monk. Will he go Tavern? Will he go solo Archmage? Is he caught up in the macro-micro game at the moment? Soon we'll find out. He's going to siphon a little mana from the illusion. Trying to chip away at this Water Elemental. Monk microing back as far as possible. Needs some time to get that Arcane Tower up. Don't think he's going to find it here. Gets the Peasants out immediately. No problem at all. Priest now here. Able to take down and gets level 5. This is where level 3 Flame Strike's coming in. It's going to be very painful. Things about to heat up at Monk's expansion. Peasants paying the ultimate price. 3 of them going to fall immediately. Monk needs to do anything he can to hold this off. Holding this off could be a win condition here. Angry Korea feels just fine. Right here, right now, Pit Lord, summoned from the Tavern, going to come in and try to withstand this attack, this assault from the nation, the country of Korea. Monk chipping away, 1 footy at a time. The defend, bouncing back some of the auto attacks, has the cleave. Monk, the cleave, able to take down a lot of these footies. 3 of them potentially going to fall. And just like that, the army of Korea faltering a little bit, but all of the Peasants pretty much have paid except for 2, and potentially the Pit Lord as well. Couple Priests now coming in for the backline of Monk, and Monk again holds it off. Quite impressive indeed, but will we see it? Will we see the bird? That is orange. Expo up behind all of this, so quite well done from Angry Korea Man. Did all of that, bought himself the space and time he needed to get that Expo online. Tier 3 is here. Knights on the way. Same with the Priests. Meanwhile, up for Monk. Sork's coming. Does not feel the pressure from any breakers. Sork's a nice play right here. Pit Lord gonna end up body blocking his whole army. He's a big boy. We'll see just how effective the cleave is. Cleave at level 3, so powerful, so strong, able to just wreak havoc, especially on tier 1 units like Footman. Can really start doing a lot of work. Even a caster's in the back line. If you can get the Pit Lord back there, slice and dice up a couple Priests, no problem. All right, Monk retreating back. Maybe going to take this orange. Or he's going to hit the southern orange. Although needs to be prepared for this potential assault from Korea. Korea looking for the level 6. Will he get the orange bird? That could be a huge win condition for Bloodlaw. Tower's coming up. Reinforcing the Expo. Workshop coming as well. Going to potentially get some mortar teams be able to take care of that caster backline. And Monk with the Shadow Priest. Is this a scout? Is this a blunder? I'd have to guess potentially just a blunder. The sacrifice of the Troll Priest. Now the caster's in the front. Going to cast some slows. We have caster battle in the back. And that level 3 Flame Strike just so effective on the Peasants. He's 1 kill away from fire. Korea knows. He knows he needs to stay, and there it is. That potentially the Flame Strike to win the game. Oh, a slow on the Pit Lord. So slow to move back and able to siphon all the mana. Blood Mage with half a mana pool. Got a heal off on the Water Elemental to prevent level 6, but it's too little too late. Here comes the Orange Bird. Striking down on the casters in the back and now going to take care of... Oh, no. And the offensive Orange Bird in the chat. Monk can't let it get to his head. He has to stay focused and stay in the game. Can he do it? Another Flame Strike roasting the midline. Pit Lord falling quite low as well. The Pit Lord will fall. Level 6 Blood Mage carries it to victory, and we're tied up 1-1. Incredible series thus far. Angry Korea Man not letting the first loss get to his head. And now we have 1-1 all tied up series in our Human Mirror matchup of the week. And we're going to Northern Isles next, so this should be a very, very interesting final map in our series, in our matchup. Let me get this straightened out here. It's in the lobby. We all say ready, and Angry Korea Man says Korea. He does not say ready. So, fun fact. And here we are. We are all tied up 1-1. The final map, the final game of the series will be settled on Northern Isles. And in the bottom left, Monk donning the blue trunks for the third game in a row. Expecting to see pretty standard play. Gonna go Archmage, I would imagine. Pit Lord in game 2. Maybe came a little later than he'd have liked. Not as effective as we did hoped. And then as you know, when you get that solo hero, just like with the Warden, same can go for the Blood Mage. Once those levels get out of hand, get out of control, and that level 6 hits, it's a tough game to win. But GGWP to both players in game 1 and 2. In case you missed it, game 1, Monk had control of the Blood Mage with the Mountain King on Terran his stand. And in game 2, Angry Korea Man did not let it get to him, came back in full force. Got that Blood Mage up to level 6 Orange Bird. All the way to victory. As we've seen in game 1 and 2, Monk favoring the Fast Expo. Angry Korea Man favoring the faster tech. And it's worked out for both of them. So we'll see what happens in this final round. I'd have to agree with you, Smurf. It's one of those, it's just like Warden early. You know, if you don't take care of the Warden throughout the game, and you allow the Warden to scale level 4, level 5, it gets scarier and scarier. It's the same with the Blood Mage, especially in the hands of a deadly player, an adept player like Korea. He has a lot of practice, a lot of experience, a pretty micro-intensive hero. You need to make sure you're siphoning effectively, auto-attacking effectively, flame-striking the right places, and if you throw Banish on top of that, saving units, preventing kills. Definitely a higher micro here than something like an Archmage. A little easier to play, in my opinion. And that's why Archmage is my hero of choice. Just an all-around strong hero, a little easier. But Monk going to try to disrupt a little bit of the backline. Get a little resource disruption. Korea forced to pull 3 militia. Going to chase the footy out with 2. AKM going to pull the Murlocs as well. Try to help take care of this footman. But unfortunately, the Murlocs have their sights set on the Blood Mage. They do not care about the footy. Monk going to clean up this Null Ogre camp. Let's see what he gets for his troubles. Ooh, nice claws. Great starting item from Monk on the southern camp. Unfortunately, not able to quite pull the camp he wanted to. the Magi Tuskar camp. Get that nice consumable. He will have to move on south to the gold mine. In Korea, now going to bring the peasants down and creep the camp Monk originally wanted to, the standard orange camp that you do start with. And Monk going to clean up the Southern Expo. No problem, and potentially fast Expo right behind this. Level 2. Got the Ring of Regeneration. Not the worst item. Not the best. Korea going to pull the green camp next. And just like last game, Angry Korea Man experience a little bit behind Monks, but not too far. Again, Monk loves the offensive tower. Right up in front. Some humans preferring to put it in the back, a little more defensive. Protect the back line more. Monk with the offensive tower placement. See how that pays off. Murloc's going to be taken down. Monk looking for that level 3. Same with Korea. And Monk, again, keeping the scout footy. Keeping an eye on Angry Korea Man. Making sure he's up to no funny business. Although I can promise you, you can watch all you want. He is still going to be up to no good. Gonna siphon all that mana from the Ogre Magi, hopefully before he kills it. Get that full mana on the Blood Mage. Meanwhile, Monk, right beneath. Both players looking for that level 3. Monk's gonna get it. Level 2 Water Elementals incoming. Now gonna get some damage on to the Blood Mage. Blood Mage gonna have level 2 Flame Strike now. And this will be interesting. Footy wars in the middle of the natural. Pulled all of the peasants back. No more militia. Angry Korea Man versus Footies of Monk. Sword and board warfare. And the Water Elementals of Monk beginning to penetrate through the defend footmen of Angry Korea Man, but no more Water Elementals will be found this battle. And AKM has the greater mana behind all of this. Korea pretty handily able to defend that natural. Although no Town Hall going to be coming up behind it just yet. And what did Monk do? He secured an Expo. He's got the Expo secured. Monk has all the breathing room he needs. Knows exactly where Angry Korea Man is. Although, the tech of Angry Korea Man vastly ahead. Monk just starting Tier 2. Angry Korea Man almost halfway to Tier 3. So I imagine we'll see those Knights coming out as soon as possible. A couple Priests as well, and we'll see just how the Tier 2 units of Monk can hold up against potentially some Tier 3 coming out. Blood Mage going to get some bonus XP as well. Also, some of the incentive for getting that Tier 3 as soon as possible. Nice level 2 Flame Strike right in the middle of the lab camp. Gonna siphon the rest of that mana from the tracker. Drop a couple more Flame Strikes. No problem. Easy peasy. Monk looking for the scout, trying to figure out where AKM is creeping. Where could he possibly be? Smells the scent. Oh, a Claws +9. Any hero would love to pick that one up. Level 4 is awarded to the Blood Mage. And Korea smartly picking up the Zeppelin. Going to take all his units and get them out into safety. Maybe just bring them right over to the Expo. Monk sees this. He's chasing the Zeppelin down. Unfortunately, a little late Scout Tower upgrade, but has the forward-facing Arcane Tower. He's going to drop him right in the back. No problem. And you already know the Flame Strike's coming. He's going to roast a couple of these towers down. Footy's going to come into the late edge of the fire. And here we go. Siphon mana on the Archmage. Archmage getting to a better position, trying to salvage as much mana as possible. Needs to get a Water Elemental out to save us. Another Flame Strike. Vicious right into the side. Water Elemental's also falling. Gets a nice deny on one of the footmen as well. Making sure the Archmage has no mana left. Zeppelin in a defensive position, picking up some of the wounded Footies. But unfortunately, a couple are going to fall, and it looks like Monk's going to be able to hold this off just fine. Really only a couple towers lost, maybe a footy or two, not detrimental at all. Monk's still very much alive, very much in this, and has the resource advantage. As always, the Monk special. Keeping the footy at the expo. Love to see it. Love to see that scouting. We'll know exactly when AKM expos, if indeed he does. Monk staying under upkeep, 49 food, does not want to break yet. Arcane Sanctum coming up, Tier 3 online for Mr. Korea. Knights now online. Knights coming out. Neither player wanting to break upkeep. Thank you so much for the follow. And that footy potentially preventing an expo from coming up. And just this one footy, look at the value. One footman, what's that? 130 gold for that, just for preventing an expo and knowing exactly when it's coming up. That is definitely something I got to take out of the playbook of Monk. One injured footy, unfortunately, may fall if he does go fumbly-bumbly on his way back down to the expo. Oh, and the trolls have something to say about Monk's footman walking on by. Not a fan. But now they're going to pay attention to Angry Korea Man's army. A couple knights going to try to slice and dice some of these footies. They have heavy armor, so not going to be too scared of the knights. And Troll Warlord's going to fall and award a Mana Stone. A very nice pickup for the Blood Mage. Monk hot on his tail again. A nice Flame Strike. Monk getting out of the flame. Well positioned. A nice Thunderclap from Monk. Going for Thunderclap first. Gets a nice surround on the Blood Mage. Picked up by the Zeppelin. Replaced down behind in safety. Monk's unit's a little wounded. Trying to get to safety. Castle just about online. An Angry Korea Man going to pay a visit to this expo. Try to break it once and for all. TP being used. Monk in the back in defensive position. Priest online as well. Going to try to heal up some of these footies before the real battle commences. Oh, and unfortunately, here comes the level 3 Flame Strike. Going to roast all of these peasants. And steal what's left of the mana from the Mountain King. Mountain King has 2 towers in the inventory. And a well-placed Flame Strike again. Oh, no, the casters. An Angry Korea Man level 5.5. It is looking a little grim, but can Monk get placed effectively enough to have the towers start doing a lot of work? One knight is going to fall. That's a nice pickoff from Monk. Very nicely microed to get out of the Flame Strike. No more Flame Strikes for the Blood Mage until he pops the Mana Potion, which he's probably saving for just this very moment for Orange Bird. Second game in a row, and this is where the tide may have turned. Monk holding on as long as he can. The Orange Bird took a lot of damage from the towers. And looks like the towers are going to pick off this Orange Bird, so Monk might withstand this push. Towers worth their weight in gold, but now towers are no more. Trying to get rid of this Zeppelin. No mana left. So much mana left for Angry Korea Man. The Blood Mage hard carrying yet again. Only a couple casters for Monk. Monk has a little bit of resources left. Trying to get a couple knights and a couple militia to salvage what's left. Oh my gosh, the Archmage just roasted in the fire for a second there. Is going to buy the scroll. And is going to sack the expo. Going to take down some of these barricades. Make a little bit of room. GGWP is called, and your winner is Angry Korea Man.